So, Mary, I was really interested in what you were telling me about having a car in Lincoln. Do you remember that
Yeah,
story?
well, you mean Peter having a car in Lincoln?
Peter had it.
Yes, that was when we were in high school. Actually, Louise bought the car. She thought that she liked living with us. She thought if she had a car, she could commute between Lincoln and Mass General Hospital in Boston. But I think on one or two tries, it was so harrowing, even back then in the 30s, was it yes, the 30s, that she just gave it up and got herself a little apartment in Boston, and she gave the car to Peter to use for taking us to high school. We lived in North Lincoln, and we actually lived between two bus routes. The Center Lincoln bus route was way too far for us, and the North Lincoln was almost as far. So and we had a friend, Jimmy Beardsley, and the three of us tootled off to school every day in Louise's little, oh, it was a little two-door sedan. No, but it had a, what are those seats called in the back of a rumble seat? It had a rumble seat, and
A rumble seat, and Uncle Peter was driving it.
yes,
Did
yes.
he? Did he go out on dates with that?
He must have. I don't. I had never gone on a date with him because it isn't a double date kind of a car.
Yeah. But you can't remember any of his girlfriends.
Well, he did have one girlfriend, and it's possible that he. I mean, he had one girlfriend that he was really serious about. He was pretty shy, though, for the most part. I don't actually remember him doing much dating in high school.
I wish we had some pictures of Peter behind the wheel. That would be a great picture.
I'm not entirely sure we don't somewhere, don't we?
I don't know. I haven't seen a picture of Peter
Well,
driving.
anyway, he was a very, very good car driver, and he was the kind of a person that could gauge just how icy a road was, and then figure out whether he could do a complete spin or just a semi-spin or something. It was very challenging for Bill, who wasn't as good a car driver as Pete, and also wasn't driving a little tiny Ford. Uh, he was driving some kind of a Chrysler, I think. But anyway, the one time that Bill tried, he had to be dug out of the snowbank on the side of the road. Okay, that's enough of that.
Those were the boys of your life. Well, Bill didn't have a car because the famous story was that he rode his bicycle down to Crosby's from Lincoln with you on the handlebar.
Well, that was that was not a date, an evening serious date. That was just sort of wander around town. He was with somebody else. The two of them were on bicycle, and as a matter of fact, obviously we were heading for Concord, but I can't for the life of me remember how I got back to Lincoln. I know he didn't ride up that hill.
Oh, it's a long way.
Yeah,
A long time ago.
that was a long time ago.
Yeah. Hello, Mary?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you'd already gone.
I have.
Where did you go?
I've gone where we're going.
Pino's.
I think that's where we're going.
What are you doing? Oh,
It's a good question. I'll just wear this, I guess.
well, I managed to fix the camera so it works.
Oh, great. Was it working before?
Mary, you were telling me a story about Harry when Harry was lived in Ottawa.
Yes.
Where-
He was working
Yeah.
for a newspaper.
Which he was a columnist.
He was not a columnist, he was just a plain straight out reporter. He just went around town and reported on sensational things that happened in Ottawa and not doing much of anything. And Rose suddenly decided that New York would be a better bet for both of them. So she simply announced to him, I'm going to New York, I'm going to get a job, excuse me, and then I'm going to get a job for you, which is precisely what she did. She
And
got a job for him.
Where did she go? Where did she work in New York? Oh, yeah. Oh, I've
She
cut.
got a job as private secretary to Seth Lowe,
Yeah.
who was a relatively well-known broker, and I don't.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We would have too much pepper. She got a job in the stock market, and she got Harry a job.
She got a job with a stockbroker. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask me these questions when I haven't just had?
Yeah. Gesundheit.
Well, Romy and I had been in Europe and we flew home, and I don't know what the time frame is, but in any case, um, I think that it was coming up on dinner time when we got home, and I walked over here in the late afternoon, and Pino had one of his windows open, and I stuck my head in and I said, Pino, we need something to eat for dinner tonight so we can just go to bed and get over having come back from Europe. And that's exactly what he did.
Joey.
Oh, you're in the
I'm not
video.
good on pictures.
No
Yes,
pictures.
you are. You're a very good looking man.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you very much.
So that's
Well, you have to please.
tiramisu. So you came here and
I came up here. Pino was getting ready for the evening.
Like some
His side-
no coffee.
If I could get some decaf, it would be
Oh.
wonderful.
You want a decaf cappuccino or decaf?
Yeah, cappuccino.
Decaf
Grazie. Anyway, the door to his kitchen was open, and I stuck my head in and I said, Pino, we've just gotten back from Italy, and I said, I don't feel like cooking. Do you have anything you can send home just to keep me going? So he gave me a little bag of things for Romy and me to eat and drink, and it was quite nice, and he saved my life. And we slept soundly, and the next day we were ready to meet the Western world.
Nice. Pinot comes through.
I hope you have a fork because this is delicious. Work at home,
There it is.
okay? Well, just a brief bio on Aunt Louise. She was my mother's sister. I think that they were very close together in age. Louise came to the United States before my mother did. She went to a nursing school in Oregon, and when she graduated, she went somewhere along the way, she ended up as a chief surgical nurse in somewhere near San Francisco, and
I think it was Marin County.
it was
Marin County.
Marin County. Yes, I think that might have been it.
But she was
Anyway.
also in Portland, Oregon, too.
Well, but when she came to us, she'd had a major nervous breakdown, and Rose said, come east, Louise, and we'll take care of you. And Rosie did, got her back on her feet, and eventually she got a job at Mass General Hospital. She could not get into surgery there because the only nurses in surgery were graduates of Mass General Hospital. But she worked herself up to being the head of Central Supply. She was a major person at Mass General Hospital. Insofar as she could, she did the most about it. And while she was there, she decided to own a car so that she could commute between Mass General Hospital and Lincoln, which is where my family lived, and she enjoyed living with my family. But she also found that commuting, even back in 1938 or 9, was not any fun. And so she finally ended up getting an apartment and walking to work, and she gave the car to my brother to use. I don't think she actually gave it to him, but anyway.
How old was Peter?
Peter was then a junior in high school.
And he got a car in the 30s?
Either a sophomore or junior, and whatever it was, we coming over from Lincoln, we got a certain amount of what is the word?
Notoriety.
Notoriety, because we had a car, and we very quickly assembled a group of friends who piled into the car, and I think that it was at least 6 of us. That's a lot for this little teeny weeny Ford Bumble seat, but we had great times after school, or after sports, whatever it turned out to be.
What fun. What fun.
It was great fun, actually. For the most part, we had things we had to do, and then we used to end up at Nancy's house.
Nancy Richardson?
Nancy Richardson, who was my close friend. As a matter of fact, Nancy and I were the only 2 girls in the group. There were 4 boys and 2 girls, and we, of course, had an absolutely fabulous time. And we'd go to Nancy's house and sit around and talk about the things that kids that age talk about. A lot of fun. And it was a lot of fun because that was where Nancy and I learned about homosexuality, something that we didn't know anything about, but we did know that one of our classmates was always being picked on by all the rest of the boys. And we asked them one day what the story was, and to our amazement, we found out that there actually were boys who liked boys better than girls. We were a little bit shocked, but we found out, in fact, probably talked to our parents about it, that this was not something, this was totally common. And it was a wonderful way, it was a wonderful way to be educated, I guess, in a way. But it was certainly a major part of our high school, and Nancy and I both loved it. We had a great time. And also Friday nights, the car was used to take us bowling.
Peter took you bowling?
We used to go bowling.
Where did you go bowling? Wallach's?
Well, we didn't go bowling in Concord because there was no. There used to be a bowling alley in Concord, but there wasn't. We went to Waltham, and we went to Waltham. That's where we went. We had a good time. And then Saturday nights, of course, we dated our major dates, who had nothing to do with the gang.
Peter didn't double date with you in the car.
No, I never double dated with Peter. In fact, Peter was very shy. It was almost before he had graduated before he got a girlfriend, and he was seriously interested in her, but Peter went into the service, and
The war came.
the war came. Yes, that was what it was.
It's a huge part of your life is the war.
A huge part of our life at that time was the war.
Because your dad
Yeah, my father
left
was.
business and became.
Are you telling the story, or am
No,
I?
I'm wondering where it's going to go. It's a big part of your life is your dad
Well,
went into the military.
actually, even before the war in the United States started, the war had started in Europe. My father had switched over to trying to think of what the name of it is. It was in Cambridge, but it certainly was a scientific.
The Rad Lab. The Rad
Yeah,
Lab.
the Rad Lab, and figuring out radar and because there was no question England was going to be bombed and they needed to have radar radar systems such that they were at least warned that they were going to be. I'm going to have to get my stories together before we continue with this. Good night.
Okay. I think perhaps you have to go to Monahan's because it will make it more convenient for Pookie to get you underway, because you'll start to be underway. You know, you'll be packed up and ready to go.
Suppose I get out there and realize that I've forgotten something.
Then she can pick it up and bring it with her.
But that's not practical. I mean, wouldn't it be better if I were here and remembered what I had forgotten? Or maybe I wouldn't remember that I'd forgotten something if I hadn't moved myself out 20 miles. So maybe it's the 20 miles that stimulates the memory. You think that's it?
You could talk to Pookie about it. It's your trip to New York. Aren't you excited?
Well, I'm happy to be going down. I'm happy for two reasons. I really do want to see Rosie, and I do want to see what Aaron and Saul are doing with their lives. It sounds to me like they're very productive and very knowledgeable about what they want to do in the future. So I'm very proud of them.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I can tell you exactly that you have a very fortunate moment here because Mika has a lot of power to get you completely together. And
that I recognize.
then you and Mika would take a car out to Concord together. You'd give her a ride back to Concord, and you would land at Libby's and Dick's, and you'd be able to relax knowing that you're all packed with a book and go to bed and get up in the morning refreshed. So there's, rather than staying here when Pookie comes in late from her engagement for dinner, then she would have to get you rolling tomorrow morning, and she'll be trying to get herself rolling. You know, it seems like it's a good plan.
All plans are viewed by different people for different reasons in different ways. Period. End of conversation.
Sounds like Caesar.
You're sending that to Pookie?
Uh-oh. Good morning, it's Mika.
Good morning.
Oh my God, Mika's here, Mary.
Mika?